the Dreamcast. I am your host, Denise Walsh. I combine science, scripture, and stories that will inspire you to dive deep, break through your own personal glass ceiling, and design a life of your dreams. Welcome back to the Dreamcast. In today's episode, I'm going to give you 6 steps to creating your dream life action plan. And this is in response to probably one of the biggest objections I get. Think about your own story. Have you ever said this? I want change. I want life to be different, but I don't have the time. I am either too busy doing things I don't really want to do. I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and I don't have time to add anything else into my day. But yet, I know I want things to change. When I created the Dream Life Workbook, I created 2 accompaniments. The first one was called a Dream Life Journal, and this is basically what to do every single day to get your mind right, to get clear, to get focused, to create the action steps every single day to make progress towards your goal. But then I also created a Dream Life Action Plan. And the process, a reason for this is because I know that once you have your goal, you really do need to take out your calendar, reprioritize your time, put your goal in paper or on paper in your calendar with clear, specific, to-do, actionable steps. You got to create your map. You've got to create your map. And this is something that you can do over and over and over again as your goals begin to change. So today is going to be a little excerpt from the Dream Life Action Plan. And the goal is to help you create a roadmap so you then have something to follow. So step 1, write down your dream life goal and decide the due date. Now, again, in episodes 3 and episodes 4 of the Dreamcast, we talked about all 7 areas of life. We rated them, and then we asked, what would it take to be at a 10? Remember, if you haven't listened to those, go back and do it because that will be helpful for today as well. You're going to take those 10 or those 7 areas of life that you've developed into a 10, like what would that 10 life look like? And you're going to pick one because although I believe you can live at a 10, like you can be thriving in all 7 areas at the same time, I do believe you need to pick one to focus on, make progress, and then you can pick the other. If your goals are too broad, then how will you know if you hit it? So let's pick one. And this would be something that's going to quantum leap you or maybe have a domino effect and impact other areas. Or maybe right now it's the most important goal or most important aspect of life you want to impact. It could be finances and getting debt free. It could be your health and your weight and getting off medications and feeling energetic and clear focused. It could be your business goal and hitting a promotion or a rank so you can earn a bonus and unlock the compensation plan. Whatever it is, write down your dream life goal in present positive terms. Okay, so again, the way we speak matters and the way we write down our goals matters. So you want to say instead of, I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck, or in 3 months, I will not be living paycheck to paycheck. You want to say, I am financially free, and get even more specific. I am paying off $10,000 of credit card debt. If it's a health goal, I am 130 pounds by April 2018. I am losing 10 pounds a month for the next 4 months. Or, you're specific. I want to be able to look at your calendar and know yes or no, you did not do it. Did you do it? Did you not do it? And I'm going to be able to see that very clearly by looking at the action you took. So the goal is positive terms. You're deciding your due date, your goal date, and then you're working backwards from there. And then you can create your affirmations surrounding this goal, your visualizations. What does it look like once this goal has been completed? You're picturing yourself there. If it's a health goal, you're picturing yourself taking selfies and feeling proud and having energy to play with your kids. If it's a business goal, you're picturing yourself on stage, like high-fiving your upline and you're excited, you're motivated. If it's a financial goal, you're picturing yourself cutting up your credit card or going live and saying, student loans are gone. You're picturing yourself at the end when it's already completed. So get really clear, specific, decide the end date, because then we can take a look at what needs to happen. They call it reverse engineering from the end date to now. Like what needs to happen in steps for you to hit that goal by the end date. Step 2 is to evaluate your current calendar. So get out your current calendar. Like really, get it out. If it's on your Google Calendar, if it's on paper, get it out. And let's take a look and see where you're spending your time, because later on we're going to adjust this. 80% of our time is spent on things that make us money or are connected to our dream life goal. Most of our time should be spent on things that are moving us forward. 20% of our time is delegated to other tasks that need to get done, but are not necessarily moving you towards a particular goal. Is that the way your current calendar looks? Next, I want you to rank your schedule. So you would put a 1 next to any and all things that are connected with your dream life goal. If it's helping you make more money to pay off debt, that counts. If it's helping you work, if you're working your business to hit your promotion, that would be ranked a 1. If it's a health goal, anything that would have to do to impact your health, working out, exercise, food related, whatever, you rank that a 1. Number 2 is to rank 2. So write a 2 next to any and all things connected with a second life goal. Now, again, this could be relationships, family. You're just taking a look at your next priority, and you're ranking that as well. Number 3 would be to rank 3. So anything that you need to do but don't necessarily help you reach your goal, you would rank a 3. If you feel like you are spinning your wheels, my guess is that you most likely are filling your calendar with 3s. There are things that need to get done, in quotes, right? But they're not really helping you reach your goal. And our plan today is to rearrange the schedule so that you have as many 1s and 2s as possible throughout the month. Step 3, create a list of all the actionable steps needed to accomplish this goal. Let's take health. What are all the things? All the things. Brainstorm everything. Going to the grocery store, meal planning, meal prepping, exercising, maybe drinking more water. What are all the things that need to happen for you to hit this goal? Increasing, your supplements, throwing out food that's not good for you, etc., right? If it's a business goal, what are all the things that you need to do in order to hit this goal? Generate leads, follow up with leads, chart, connect with your team, train your new distributors, get on team calls, do power hours. What are all the things that need to happen in order for you to accomplish this goal? And then what I want you to do is identify all of the things that on your list that need to be you. Like you can't really ask for help. You can't get someone to do it for you. It really does need to be you. You need to be the one that goes to the gym. You need to be the one that follows up and generates leads. You need to be the one that's taking action in these areas. So circle all the ones that really do need to be you. And then I want you to star all of the actionable items that you could possibly outsource. Maybe you can ask for help. A lot of times, you guys, I try to outsource my 3s. So if it's something that's not helping me make money or move towards my goal, I ask for help. And for those of you that are working on a promotion goal, it may be you ask your kids or you ask your spouse for help during this run time. It's not necessarily forever, right? But for the season of life, I have this specific goal and I would love some help. Do you have a college student who could come over and watch the kids or do laundry? Do you have someone that could help pick kids up from school? Do you have someone who could help with grocery shopping? In fact, we just got in Grand Rapids, Michigan here, a thing called Shipped. And so I can honestly order my groceries online and tell them when I'll be home and they bring it to me. It's amazing. So what are some things that you could outsource, ask for help, and get someone to help you? And the reason why this is so important is because the more you ask for help, the clearer your focus is. Not only does this relieve you of time constraints, but it also relieves you of some mental space. You don't have to think about cleaning the toilets this month or doing laundry or keeping up on X, Y, and Z because you know that that's going to be taken care of by somebody else. As a mom, as a woman, I know that I used to pride myself on being super mom. I don't know if any of you relate at all, but I used to think that I could do all things. And I would pride myself on multitasking and doing several things at the same time. And I was so proud. And what I realized is that I was doing none of them well. Clearing out the mental clutter and allowing myself to truly focus on one thing allows me to do that thing well. And then I can move on to something else. So creating that list, identifying what needs to be you and what you could ask for help. And then number 4 is to put it on the calendar. So again, we're taking out your calendar and we are going to now take those actionable items that we've identified that need to be us, and we're going to give it a specific time slot. Reworking your schedule to be in line with your new priorities will help make you progress. Again, we're hoping to outsource most 3s, and we are going to put 1s and 2s in our calendar. The first thing that I recommend when you're evaluating and reprioritizing your schedule is to put in non-negotiables. If you work full-time, put that in your calendar. Date nights, put that in your calendar. An example for me is I pick my kids up from 3 to 4 every single day. I want to do that. I love that I can pick my kids up from school and ask them how their day was and be present in that way. And so I carve out that. It's a non-negotiable for me. And then the rest you want to chunk out. Something that's been really helpful for me over the years is to time block. So again, instead of trying to do multiple things at one time, I carve out a chunk of time and I do that well. So for me, I've got before the kids wake up. So from 5 to 7, I work out, I do personal development. I then get the kids ready for school from like 7 to 9. I get myself ready, I get my kids ready, we get them off. From 9 to noon is a chunk where I can specifically focus on a task and get it done well. From noon to 3 is another chunk where maybe I change focuses a little bit, but I am doing it well. I'm scheduling calls, I'm going on live, I'm doing other things to work towards my goal. From 3 to 4 is when I pick my kids up. And then when they're home and we're doing homework and playing, I can answer things, but I'm not proactively scheduling things during that time. And then from 8 to 10, a couple nights a week, I get back on the computer for some specific focused work. That's just my schedule. What about you? If you're working full-time, do you have something you could do in the morning before the kids get up? Maybe breaks or a lunch break. Maybe you call people on your drive home every single day and make it a habit so you can get in the groove for your business when you get home from work. Chunk out your schedule, like time block, and be super specific about it. This leads me to number 5. The next thing is to have an accountability partner. Set yourself up for success by getting your family on board with your new plan, telling some friends, and even asking someone to hold you accountable. When I was doing the Train the Trainer program with Jack Canfield, I was assigned accountability partner, and we were required to talk every single day for 5 minutes. And all we did was say, this is my to-do list. And yes, I completed yesterday's or not. And we did that every single day. And what I learned when I was working with him is that I couldn't have a vague to-do list. For example, when I did the Train the Trainer thing, I was required to have a half-day workshop at my house, or really anywhere, but I chose to do it at my house, and I invited 20 to 30 people over, and I had to make a PowerPoint and have handouts and prepare all of these exercises and take people on a journey and practice and all of this stuff. And so I would tell my accountability partner, I'm working on my half-day workshop. And then the next day, I'm working on my half-day workshop. And then the next day, okay, I was going to be working on that for a month. So I had to get really specific. What about the half-day workshop am I going to be doing? I am figuring out the first half of it. I'm creating my outline. I'm doing the PowerPoint. I'm practicing this, this, and this. I'm looking through and listening to the modules again so I can learn it better. I had to get detailed about the to-do list so I could actually check it off. And then the next day say, yes or no, I did or did not complete that. For example, if you are working your business and you just say, work my business, what are you doing during that time? Are you generating leads? Are you following up? Are you getting on a power hour? What are you doing during that time? So you're taking you're taking action, you are doing income producing activities, and you're making progress towards your goal. And then, of course, who's going to hold you accountable? Accountability partners are awesome. If you have someone that you would love to be your accountability partner, ask them, and then ask if you could be theirs. Have a mutual relationship there where you're both adding value. I have also found that mastermind groups to be extremely helpful. With the mastermind group, we would do a Zoom meeting, maybe weekly or every other week, and it was just a specific hour. We were focused on ending on time, starting on time, and we went around the group and just said what was working, what was a success for the week, what would we like help with brainstorming or need ideas for. And I found it so helpful to have a place where I could say yes or no. I'm doing what I said I was going to do because I knew they were going to ask. I found myself doing things at 10 o'clock the night before just because I knew they were going to ask. And I truly credit my mastermind group for starting and finishing the Dream Life Workbook and the Dreamcast because I talked about it for months. And then I realized it wasn't going to happen on its own. Like I wanted it, but I wasn't scheduling it and nothing was happening. So then I finally reprioritized, put it in my schedule as a specific time slot, and I started to see progress. So who will be your accountability partner? How often will you meet? What days? What time? What are the rules and the goals of your meeting? Maybe there's an end date. It's just a season. It's for 3 months or whatever the case may be. Set yourself up by having cheerleaders who know what you're working towards surrounding you. Another thing you can do here is get your family on board. I know a lot of people who will get their kids on board and their spouse on board with their goals. Maybe they are, we're going to go to Disney I don't know, next year or something. And so every time you go to a party, your kids know that you're working towards this goal of going to Disney. Or every time you're working, they're connected to that and they know that they get to benefit from it too. And they're cheering you on and sometimes even pushing you out the door because they all want you to succeed. So who's going to be your cheerleading squad on your way to your goal? And then number 6 is my favorite. This one is simply executing your plan. When you do the first 5 steps well, you don't have to think anymore. You've got it in your calendar. You don't have to think, am I going to the gym? You just do. You don't have to think, am I working my business? You just do. You simply execute the detailed plan that you've created for yourself, and you can evaluate and rework along the way. What's working? What's not working? Is there something that needs to change? Is there something that I can switch around or maybe not do this for a season so I can add time for this? Evaluating and rerouting your plan is something you consistently want to do as you take a look at where you are and see if it's truly taking you to where you want to be. As they say, time management is the secret of the rich. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 7 days a week. The question is are you running your calendar or is your calendar running you? What's so cool about this is that when you get clear, detailed, and consistent with your time, you're going to start creating momentum with whatever goal you have. You're going to start seeing progress. And then when you hit your goal or you get to a place you feel confident, it's become a habit, guess what? we get to do it again. What I love about this action plan is that whether you are in a place of redreaming because you've hit your goal, or maybe you're in a place of transition because you don't really like where you are, creating an action plan can get you off your tough. Is that a word? It can get you off your booty and into action because you know your route. So I hope this was helpful to you. Whatever your goal is today, I know that you can create that Dream 10 life for yourself, and I cannot wait to hear about it. Thank you, and dream big.
Thank you so much for listening today. Head over to denisewalsh.com. Enter your email to subscribe to our list, and I will be sending out an early bird special coupon. 50% off, in fact, of the Dream Life Workbook when it is launched in just a few months. So if you want to have first dibs, let's get your name on that list. Thanks again. I so appreciate you, and remember to dream big.